this is what the Bolsheviks would do in their propaganda ministry, was perfect this technique of agitation propaganda. And so these kinds of provocative actions, killing people who are simply interested in self-defense, or blowing this up into the mass media stage and reporting it for weeks and weeks and weeks. When their murders happen every day, and I'm not trying to play down the murder of this guy. I'm just saying you have to look at the media choosing certain events, not just for sensationalism, but for the fact that they can actually be agitation propaganda.
Motorcade taking up the residential. Global perspiration, freaky gyrations, close to fornication. Numbers get passed with ass, information, intoxication, faded, inebriated, designated driver, lava, demagogue, blocking freaks in, all of them tens, stallions, get them to pal in, sitting on laps, bitch, we write raps, backdoor access, you getting jealous, standing online with designer umbrellas, bad fellas running with the east side connection, in the kind of club with a star, check they weapons, who wanna sex DMX, get naked, fucking till security show us the X. Heavy hitters kind of figures, we be clubbing, mixing blunts and heavy liquors, we be clubbing all my live ass niggas, that's right, we be clubbing, fucking all them baby niggas, we be clubbing, DMX, Rough Riders. All I do is import to export, transport to Westport. A nigga still breathing today, cause the vest caught them slugs. You spit at me now, get at me if you want more. Sick with a fucking hole up in your back, so what's the front for? Come on, baby, we some noise makers. Catching niggas with bricks and out my thing coming through Las Vegas. Made us wanted dead or alive. Mad niggas hitless, but ain't a motherfucker come to get this. Witness what's unheard of, cold-blooded murder. This hot shit'll have you smelling like a fucking burger. In the cell, from the 12 is all it takes to make a nigga spin like trice and default. You call for help, but ain't nothing coming. The ass manslaughter, the robbery and gun running. And when I'm done gunning, we all gon' meet up at the club, fucking with you. Nothing but love, nigga, what? Heavy hitters kind of figures. We be clubbing, mixing blunts and heavy liquors. We be clubbing all my live ass niggas. We be clubbing, fucking all them baby niggas.
I was born in 1974, and my mom's a lesbian, and this is how she described it to me. Was she was a heroin addict when when she got pregnant with me, and what had happened is she went to this party over at a girlfriend of hers house. And got really high, and the next morning she had woke up in her girlfriend's bed. She was naked, and like a couple of weeks later was getting really sick. So she went to the doctor, and then she found out she was pregnant. She didn't know who my dad was, and I never knew who he was either.
Of course, I'll never end up on Broadway. I'll never be on Broadway. Not me. It took about a week.
I'm doing this because I love him and I want to get better. And I'm an addict too. I mean, I'm just not doing it for him. I'm an addict too. And that would be the worst if we got divorced after all this.
There's always danger every time you get into the car. Get raped, get killed, all different things.
Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, I got robbed at gunpoint, beaten in the head with a gun. I've been stabbed. Stabbed? Oh, God. Well, it was 127 stitches. That was about 5 months ago. I hate myself every day for doing it. But once you're in it, it's a lot harder to get out of than you would think. But when I first started working out here, I used to come up all the time and ask the girls if they'd step on a baby kid.
I'm doing it, I can't. 7, 8, 9 times until I don't know why, but it's just, I got something to focus my attention.
He received a book, a direct voice transmission from a force who identified himself as Iwa, a representative of the spiritual hierarchy that was guiding humanity through what Crowley called the next stage of our development, the new eon. It began in 1904 and it presumably extends for 2,000 years. It replaces Christianity, and he sought for something that he described as the knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angels. He spoke about that at length. He described it as the next step for humanity, and what it is, quite frankly, is union with God. He spoke about a state called crossing with the abyss, which is almost the self-becoming God, the apotheosis, the loss of all personal attachment, and in fact those who fail in that ordeal become the black magicians, black brothers of which he is accused.
And I believe that at one point in my life, I would have given anything to be a part of the industry that does contribute to the destruction of our society. Why are we subject to constant low mentality music, especially in the region where I'm from? It seems like you can only get famous for putting out mindless, negative music nowadays.
And this is where they lose themselves. And by the time you do the handshake and you sign on the dotted line, the ball game is over at that point. There's no coming back because they're going to feed every desire.
Usually do my dope and go back to sleep, but relax a little while, then I go out and try to pull a date, make some money. That seems to be the only thing that I'm any good at as far as making money. I'm not any good at breaking into cars. I have too much of a conscience, to rob innocent people. I've been raped 4 times in my life, prostituted, and it's really hard. I don't like it. I mean, it's very degrading, and people that pick me up, they do. They try to make you feel, and they try to degrade you as much as possible. I mean, they get off on that, They get off on making you feel like a piece of meat.
This is a fucked and psychotic. Leave me for lost.
I want to see the doctor to get my mask out of my face, you couldn't get.
I just feel like I'm suffering, man. I feel like I'm suffering every day. I just feel like I'm suffering. I feel like I'm just in a locked, a real small locked room. And no matter how much I kick on the door, no matter how much I scream, man, or nobody hear me, man. They say I'm paranoid.
Are you on force medication?
Yeah.
The bottle dropped out. And I just couldn't think of nothing else.
Now, you haven't heard voices. No. But, you do have some special abilities, right?
Yeah, man, telepathy.
Yeah, which is different than voices.
Yeah, it's a lot different, a lot more friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and who's the main person that you have telepathy with?
The main one is Miss Hillary Clinton now, and then the next one is George Bush. Then I talk to Miss Oprah Winfrey sometimes.
Electric
at your face, and you pull the trigger, and you pull the trigger, and you pull the trigger, the pull, and you pull the trigger, towards your head, towards your head, and you are committing suicide. You are committing suicide. Committing suicide. You are committing suicide. Committing suicide into your face, and smash into your face, and your face, and your face, blow the skull open, and blow the skull open, and blow the skull open, and brains and flesh and skin and hair, blood and brains and flesh and skin and hair, blood and brains and flesh and skin and hair, blood and brains and fly into the air, fly into the air, fly into the air, you are dying, 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 to hold together, to hold together, to hold together, to hold together, to hold it in, to hold the bloody vessel as it scatters through.
It's just a silly phase I'm going through. It's just a silly phase I'm going through. It's just a silly phase
Your world is later, my world is now, but
it's just a silly phase I'm
going through. It's just a silly phase. You are worshiping in the Lord, and your word is another man's sound. My body speaking. You, Lord God. Oh, they take on my mind, and they run me around, and they lay me down before you, bread is from. If you can't take it, break it up. Let a shotgun feel free to shoot me down, and I come straight into your gates. Spleen, spit, sin.
In the crib with just me and a female. I'm still slick besides the others. Cause a nigga like me, yo, I'm smoother than the Isley brothers. When I'm on the scene, I get feedback. Brothers running up, so where you be at? I be by myself just coolin', cause I don't have no time to sweat what someone else is doing. Cause they're not equal to me. I got places to go, money to make, and people to see. What you gonna do? The man is coming through. You got it going on. Hey yo, that ain't nothing new. Now I'm making higher figures. You got dumb motherfuckers who always wanna try, nigga. But I'm wilder than Harlem, kid. I'm straight making pay, so what the motherfucking problem is? Now talk about unity. When I turn my back, you're talking about what you wanna do to me. But y'all could keep ripping, cause I'ma send you home with your motherfucking teeth missing. So stop running at the mouth. Straight up and down, yo, you know what I'm about. Knocking niggas off, knocking niggas out. Word. Knocking niggas off, knocking niggas out. Knocking niggas off, knocking niggas out.
That in other words, all this thing we call life with its frantic concerns is a big act, which you, in your unconscious depth, are deliberately setting up. So you can do one of two things when you discover this. You can become what's called a pratyeka Buddha. That means a private Buddha, who doesn't tell anything. Or you can become a bodhisattva. Pratyeka Buddha goes off into his ecstasy and never is seen again. Bodhisattva is one who comes back and appears in the everyday world and plays the game of the everyday world by the rules of the everyday world. But he brings with him upaya. He brings with him some way of showing that he's been on the journey, that he's come back, and he's going to let you in on the secret too. If you will play it cool and also come back to join in the everyday life of everyday people. Because this is the rule.
because he just liked to kill. In that sense, it's been interpreted as what do you call it, rehearsing. It's not true. It's like playing chess and then turning it into something ugly. I played chess casually. I played chess more and more thoroughly till I got very good at it, which was picking up people to where I can make you a bet. I can pick up those two ladies. And they'd say, oh man, you're crazy. Those are two very crafty young ladies who won't get in a car with a young man by himself, etc., etc. And I'd win a bet. You know why she said that? Because I had brandished this gun. And I had cocked it once and it clicked. So in her mind, very possibly, I had pulled the gun out and was going to shoot her. So she said, what's that? Thinking I'd pulled the gun out now and I'm cocking it. Not realizing I pulled a knife out. I still had the gun in my pants. I stabbed her. She didn't fall dead. You're supposed to fall dead. You're supposed to go, oh, and fall dead. I've seen it in all the movies, right? It doesn't work that way. When you stab someone, they leak to death. They lose blood pressure, and you stab them more and more and more. You complicate it many times by where you're hitting, the pain you're causing, and the aggravation of the person involved, plus whether or not they make a little faster. It wasn't working worth a damn. I stabbed her all over her back, and she even turned around and stabbed her in the side and the stomach once. Why? As she turned around, I could have stabbed her through the heart. But her breasts were there. And it actually deflected me. I couldn't see stabbing a young woman in her breast. It was a conviction that just got deeper and deeper in me. I got more and more morose. I got less and less talkative at work. I got more somber about what I was doing. Because almost every minute of every day, I knew that's what that next weekend held. That was Easter weekend. Right? And I went back in my room and I laid down. I did not go to sleep. I laid there for 3 hours, 4 hours, 4 or 5 in the morning. A little after 5 in the morning, I walked in there with a hammer and caved in the side of her head and cut her throat.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, then what, man? What?
You're feeling the strength for the run, step bump, hit a bump, get a jump, that the dust, the spit, just be dug and straight buzzing, loving your people, just be so real, chill, better bring your weapon and step and bring on that ammunition, tripping, no sip, not to mention, never knew no competition, but I gotta get mine, so scream my mo and let me hear ya holler, not about that mighty dollar.
And friendship between neighbors. Establish social workers institutions. If people who are on payroll of whom? Society? No. Bureaucracy. The main concern of social workers is not your family, not you, not social relations between groups of people. The main concern is to get the paycheck from the government. What will be the result of their social work doesn't really matter. They can develop all kinds of concepts. Power structure. Okay, the natural bodies of administration, which are traditionally either elected by people at large or appointed by elected leaders of society, are being actively substituted by artificial bodies the bodies of people, groups of people whom nobody elected. Never. As a matter of fact, most of the people don't like them at all, and yet they exist. One of such group is media. Who elected them? How come they have so much power? Almost monopolistic power on your mind. They can rape your mind. But who elected them? How come they have a nerve to decide what is good and what is bad for the elected by you, president and his administration? Who the hell are they? Spiro Agnew, who was hated by the liberal left, called them a bunch of enfeebled snobs. And that's exactly what they are. They think they know. They don't. The level of mediocrity. In a big establishment like New York Times, Los Angeles Times, major television network, you don't have to be excellent journalist. You have to be exactly a mediocre journalist. That's easier to survive. There's no competition anymore. You have your good, nice income, $100,000 a year. That's it. Whether you are better or worse doesn't really matter anymore. As soon as you're smiling to the camera and do your job. That's it. No more competition. Power structure slowly is eroded by the borders and groups.
Another time, another story. Kill everyone now. Condone first-degree murder. Advocate cannibalism. Eat shit. Filth in my politics. Filth in my life. Take whatever you like. It does more than turn me on, Mr. Snyder. It makes me calm. And more than the sight of it, I love the taste of it. The taste of hot, freshly killed love.
It's up 2 steps into the hallway and then back to the back bedroom. To go to bed late. The 5.5-year-old child was sleeping with Colette, the wife. She'd wet the bed, so he came back and went back on the couch. He fell asleep watching Johnny Carson. He was awakened by 2 white males and a black male with E6 sergeant stripes and a fatigue jacket, and a white female with a floppy hat and the long blonde hair. And they claimed, later on I talked to the female and got a signed confession from her, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. They claimed that they came in looking for drugs. And he said, just a minute, I'll go call a friend of mine. And he went to call the friend, and instead of calling the friend, of course, he called the MPs, and a fight ensued. They had a knife, a ice pick, and the black male had a club. And he was over near the couch, and somehow or other his pajama top got wrapped around his wrist, and he was fainting off the blows, and all of a sudden he felt a sharp pain to his right side. And he said to himself, well, that's a strong blow. Lost consciousness. He woke halfway in the hallway and halfway in the living room. And there was dead silence in the house. He went back. His wife had multiple stab wounds in his chest. He went in and checked the 2 little girls. They'd been bludgeoned to death with multiple stab wounds.
Sick fuck. Didn't care, wanted sex, nasty, I don't even know if you can call it sex. Everything, from just, touching to fruit, squash, huge squash, that big around, stuck into you, in your ass, you know. Heat things, hot things, you know, poked at you and stuck in you. Larry King was the same kind of sick fuck Alan Bear was, except Larry King was more violent, more assured of himself, you know. I got those scars in my own one night at a party where Larry King, you know, wanted to see how strong a man we were or something, you know, and have us push our arms together and we would light cigarettes. As soon as he gets burning, we just drop them down between your arms and, you know, let it burn. You know, and they made us stand there naked and touch each other by holding our arms together and burn cigarettes. You know, they filmed film someplace. I mean, they filmed it burning, you know. I mean, I would, you know, see him fuck a 10-year-old boy in the ass, you know, until he bled and, you know, just pull out and stop and, you know, push him down, you know, and then go out and, you know, meet with decent people.